Welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a closer look underneath my Corvette C6. So at the front you can see the license plate holder. You can see how the air can still go behind the license plate and then reach this little diffuser here, which is shoveling the air towards the radiator. So that's quite interesting. The C5 only had the inlet here and the C6 also has the upper one additionally. Then we have our air dam here, and let's move behind that so you can see how the radiator is not exactly straight, so it's slightly angled. We can also see an additional radiator behind that, and let's see the front suspension here. Pretty interesting for Europeans to see is this leaf spring, so this transversal leaf spring on a sports car. And I didn't remove any panels, so this is how the underbody of a normal Corvette C6 looks like. So there is no underbody panel or anything, there's no diffuser or anything. The only thing the Corvette has is the air dam, so it's pretty cool. So I just did the oil change, that's why there's a new filter. And you can see a double wishbone suspension at the front. So pretty nice aluminium suspension, and it's adjustable as well. So that's pretty cool. So my car has 78,000 kilometers now, so not that much mileage. It has never seen any salt or anything. Interesting is also this area here. So they adapted this steel frame of the Corvette so it doesn't create any parachute effect or anything, so that air can just move along, and you have this angled bit, so at other cars this bit would be straight and then you would just catch the air here. So that's pretty cool to see. Then a pretty nice clean exhaust, and with a connector here in between. Gives some nice sound. And then we have the gearbox here at the back. And at the back we can see a leaf spring again, so nice to see. And also a fully adjustable aluminium double wishbone suspension at the rear, which is quite nice, pretty nice handling. One detail I found really cool is the rear air cooling. So they're using the higher pressure in front of the rear wheel for this inlet, and then from this inlet it goes through this air duct around the tire and then onto the rear brake. So that is just so cool. And yeah, I've never seen something like this on another car, but really cool to see it on this Corvette here. And then at the rear I have not the stock exhaust, so that is a, they called it Corvette Performance part, but that is a pretty nice sounding exhaust. Now also the exhaust pipes have a proper size now, not like the original one. And yeah, the cool thing is, because they have this leaf spring at the suspension, the packaging of the suspension is quite small, so it's only the damper up here and there's no bigger coil spring in the way, which is pretty cool to see. And this is the front wheel well, so you can see there's only the damper, there's no spring in the way, and the upper connection points to the chassis are with these brackets here, so which is like in motorsport. So pretty cool, pretty easy to adapt if you need to, and nice to see on such a road car. Then at the front it's quite nice to see that although the car is really low, we have this rubber-like air dam here, so it's no problem if you hit the road with that. For anything above that, you can see there's this metal structure, so it's no problem if you hit the ground with that, and that was the French speed bumps in Le Mans. So there's no problem, you don't damage anything if you hit this, it just sounds not very good. And interesting here is that this is the brake cooling. So just in front of the air dam, they use the higher pressure and then just guide the air through this hole into the front wheel arch and then guide the air onto the front brakes. So pretty simple, pretty nice, and it works. And I think the rear with this exhaust is a lot better. It just looks so much better than the stock version, and it's a bit louder, it just sounds great, and that's the only modification this car has. And the very clean LS2 engine. I actually like this engine pretty much because it's a good compromise between efficiency and performance. performance. The only problem I had here at the front was the battery when I bought the car, because there was still the original battery inside and that was too weak. It was just shot over the years. So I replaced the battery to something better and now it's perfect. And a really big trunk, which is actually even bigger than on my Phaeton. So you can put a lot of things in here. We even went camping with this, so you can put your table, your chairs, your tent in here, no problem. So as you could see, the Corvette is a really unusual design for a sports car, or we could even call it a super sports car, with no closed underbody, but instead of that we have the air dam with the leaf springs, but a really nice suspension with double wishbone at front and rear, fully adjustable aluminium, so really cool design. Drives really, really nice, and I already miss the car, although I still have it. Because you can do so many things with it. You can have long trips with it. You have a big trunk. It's really comfortable. You have seat heating. You have air conditioning. And yeah, you have keyless go and all these comfort features. But at the same time, if you want to go faster, you can always do it. And also in terms of fuel consumption, this is the LS2 engine and it's a 2010 model. So 2010 first registration, and I might have to explain that to pretty much everybody because everybody's asking me about it. This car was in the showroom for the first 1.5 years after it was built. So it was only registered in 2010, but it's a 2008 pre-facelift model with the LS2 engine, which I personally like pretty much because on long trips, for example, when we were driving to Le Mans in France, I could do 8 liters on 100 kilometers, 8.0, and you can also see it in my videos. So that means with a 65-liter fuel tank of the Corvette, you have a range of 800 kilometers in this car, which is quite amazing. So just to compare that, my previous BMW 850 Ci E31 with the 300 horsepower 5-liter V12 had a fuel consumption of at least 12 liters on 100 kilometers. And here we can go down to 8, which is no problem. Usually if you drive around here, it will be around 10. So it's pretty fuel efficient, which was pretty surprising to me. It's my first American V8. I also have a Viper, but fuel consumption on a Viper RT10 is something completely else. So really nice car. I really love it. And yeah, it will be hard to see it go. And if you are interested in this car, then please contact me because I'm currently selling my Corvette. I had a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I'm already missing it, but it's really cool, but now it's time for something else for me. It's a really nice model in yellow. Not many of them are yellow. With black interior, it's well maintained. It only has 78,000 kilometers now. Like you could see on the channel, we did some nice long trips with it. It has never seen bad weather, no salt, no rust. And yeah, it's pretty much stock. So a lot of these cars are modified. The only thing that's been modified here is the exhaust, but that is only for the better. And all the rest is completely original. So if you're interested, please contact me and see you at the next video.